I guess the first question I want to know is tell me how you first got started with creating your own hot sauce brand.
So it all started with very like a silly idea in my apartment. I just wanted to win a prize for having the best pickle, but that turned into I started just making hot sauce, and it's not something I inherited from my family. Like my, it's not my family recipe. So it's basically I just taught myself every weekend for 7 months in my apartment and like trial and error and trial and error. So that's how I kind of got started. So when my one of my coworker wanted to buy a jar, so it kind of like I was like, oh my God, like it could totally be a business, you know?
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, I still don't have a business plan, but it's like a full-fledged business right now. I launched it last year, like 9 months ago, and I'm in 15 stores and restaurants in New York, New Jersey. Yeah.
Well, I think the beauty of Instagram, I found your hot sauce brand probably some time ago on Instagram. And I think the beauty of Instagram is you can flick right back through the catalogs of images to see where people kind of started out. And I know that if you look at your Instagram account as of today versus
Uh-huh.
where you were months ago, your labeling, everything is really of good quality now, or really high quality. So if anyone wants to have a look through the Instagram account, we'll give you the details later, but have a look through it and just see it's really interesting to see the progression of your business. I think it's great.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, it's basically started from home. And in 2015, during Christmas, I made some hot sauce for my family and friends as a gift, like Christmas gift. The label was so fun. Like, it was just like a fun project, became a business. So yeah, I'm still improving and I'm not there where I want to be,
Mm.
but it's like a learning process for me every single day, every single month. Yeah.
Do you go back over your recipe each month before you do a batch, or try and refine it even more, or have you found your kind of two, three, or four recipes that you really want to stick with?
Yeah. So when I first started doing like farmers market, or pop-up shop or flea market, I had 9 recipes, right?
Yeah.
And from then I was just going crazy because I source everything locally, and meaning that I actually drive to the farmers, I collect my ingredients, I bring it, prep it, and then I cook it and bottle it, all those things, right?
Mm.
So I was just going crazy with all of that. Then from doing a lot of farmers market, I kind of figured out my best sellers, what were my best sellers. So I streamlined into 5. Now I have 3. So that's what I'm going fully fledged on, like 3 recipes. Um, and in terms of if I do like mass production, then there'll be just only 2. Because like I said, like source everything from my local farmers. So also it has to something to do with how much can they grow for me, per year.
Take it as is it seasonal to a certain degree with the process of producing your sauce if you're sourcing
Yes,
locally?
because I don't buy my stuff. I buy my peppers from distributors, right? So, for example, there's an university. It's a huge university in New Jersey. It's called Rutgers University, and they have an agriculture farm, and they're gonna grow 90% of my peppers this year. So the peppers here in the United States is like seasonal, like the hot peppers. So what I have to do is like really like right now pepper season is over for me. So I'm not producing. So the stuff I produced a few months ago based on the peppers from the harvest time. So yes, it is seasonal. Like I don't have peppers to produce right now, but I have enough inventory.
Yeah, so I guess it's just a matter of trying to really manage your inventory levels and
Yeah. Last year, it's like I started and basically I had no experience in terms of like mass produce, right? Even producing 600 bottles in a day is a mass production for me,
mm,
right? Like to some people, it's nothing. But every few months I'm scaling it up. I'm learning and like, do better projection. Like this year, I know a little bit better than what I did last year. Last year, I lost hundreds pounds of peppers. It went bad because I waited little too long to process them.
Mm.
Things like that, like trial and error and learn from it.
Yeah. Look, I know you're fully committed to your hot sauce being locally sourced.
Extremely committed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What drives that? Because I know a lot of people will take peppers from where they can get them and etc. But I know by looking into your brand, you're very much focused on making sure that it's locally sourced. So yeah, just tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. I am extremely passionate about it. I mean, that's one of the reason I started doing this, really helping my local farmers, people who are producing, not producing, people who are like growing, because they're also making living out of it. And it's not only my peppers, my bottles, they're locally made. And also my print shop is in Manhattan in New York. So it's basically really work with people who are around. So whatever I make, it goes back to the community. It's a circle. So this is something because, like American farmers, I wouldn't say it's disappearing, but they're not as encouraged. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to put like a small something, like a small way of changing or improving. And all my peppers are organic. So it's like more we eat organic, the farmers will grow more and the price will go less, right? Like organic food shouldn't be expensive. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things. Like if we support our local farmers, doesn't matter where we are, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like they grow more every year and the price will go down. It doesn't have to be $10 for a piece of organic potato. So, like a huge believer in of farm to table kind of food that has no chemicals, food that has no additives, and it's not injected. It is grown naturally. And if you really look at, I'm not sure about Australia, but if you look at American food, what we buy in the supermarket, it's unbelievable the amount of chemicals it has. I can't even pronounce it. And they get approved by FDA. And I don't know. I'm just so passionate about that. I am all about buying fresh food, fresh vegetable, nothing frozen. I don't even use frozen peppers or any ingredients. So I'm extremely passionate about eating fresh food and no additives, no chemicals. So it goes back to, that's the way like making hot sauce and it's 100% natural. Like I don't have any additives nor any chemicals to preserve it.
I think without getting, I guess, too deep for this podcast, there is really a subculture there now throughout the world. I've just spent some time in London, here in Australia. Australia's been renowned for many years as having some of the best fresh produce in the world, but we tend to send it overseas and keep the worst produce here in Australia, which is really interesting. But there is a subculture there now where people are starting to, a lot of our coffee shops are growing their own vegetables and own fruit that they're selling within their coffee shops, and it's really starting to take off. There's a lot of chili growers here or pepper growers here in Australia that are combining their efforts and getting a plot of land together to grow peppers so they know what they're getting rather than getting the mass-produced stuff. So very interesting.
That's amazing.
What would be firstly, what's your favourite sauce that you produce? And if you were trying to explain to me what the flavour profiles that I'd get from trying your sauce,
sure.
Tell me a bit about your favourite sauce and what I'd expect to sort of find.
My most favorite sauce I kind of discontinued because the farmers doesn't grow that type of pepper much here. So it's the green chili pepper. It's the Thai version of green chili pepper. Okay. So the farmers that I work with, they're not producing, they're not growing. So I kind of had to discontinue it, but that's like one of my most I'm half Asian, so it's like that's the pepper I grew up with.
Mm.
And I love that green chili pepper. However, right now I have habanero, which is super duper hot. And the second one is serrano and chipotle. It's
Okay.
like bit smoky. It's really great with steak, any kind of meat. And the last one I have sweet peppers and mango, which is not spicy at all. A lot of people ask me, oh, it's not really hot sauce. So I have that for my clients who cannot handle spicy food, but they like the little kick from the vinegar. A lot of my clients, they use that flavor, sweet peppers and mango, as dressing, and they love it. They think that they're having a hot sauce, but
Mm.
it's not spicy. The way my hot sauce is, it's not diluted with water, so it's like very, like, all you're having is like peppers and all, like the vegetable, you know
Mm.
it's a bit thick because I don't dilute it with water. I don't use white vinegar. I use organic apple cider vinegar, which is super healthy for you.
Mm.
Yeah, it's delicious. Maybe I'll send you.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'm not doing this podcast for free. We've got to.
Yeah.
So, I guess for those listening, to rewind a little bit, I think the chili community, and there's a growing community from what I can see, especially when
Yeah.
it comes to creating hot sauces, a very, I know from my own experiences here in Australia, they're all very willing to help each other create a brand and don't see each other as competition as much as they may in other countries. But I guess for those people that are thinking about starting their own brand and getting out into their local community, etc., what are some of the things that you would do again? If you had your time again, what would you change? And any advice that you can pass on to someone that's thinking about doing what you've done?
So I didn't take the traditional path in terms of being in food industry. It doesn't matter if you're doing hot sauce or anything else. So I took the hardest path, meaning like when I developed my recipe, when I had my jar ready, I did every single weekend. I went out there, I did farmers market pop-up shops, right? And they're like a lot of work by yourself, right? When you're making and when you're selling outside versus getting a distributor and getting shipped to the store, and customers doesn't know what that is. So one of the thing I realized that, I'm so confident with what I do because I have worked with, I still do with the customers. Like I know what they think about my hot sauce, right? Every location like around me. So I would say, like, always connect with your customer and see what's working and what's not working. Because once it gets shipped to the supermarket or any market, it's a new brand. People doesn't know what it is, how it tastes like. It just sits there. And when it comes to food, if you're doing hot sauce and have everyone around you try it and listen to their feedback. And yeah, that's like one of my biggest takeaway from my own what I'm doing right now. Like always have someone try what you're doing. And in terms of like what I would change going back, there are some like mistakes I made. Like for example, I signed up for like very expensive show that it was too early for me. So it was more to do with like the marketing part. And yeah, I mean, I'm still learning. So I feel like I don't have, maybe like end of this year or next year, I'll have more advice. But now I feel like I'm such an early stage. Yeah, I'm still learning.
Yeah, look, I mean, miles ahead of a lot of other people. I think you should be congratulated on everything you've done so far and where you've got to. And I think the message I got out of that was really, start with getting out into the community and really getting to know who is going to buy from you and getting feedback and growing your.
So important because just think about you and me as a consumer. When we walk in somewhere and like we always buy the same thing because we know that brand, right? Our ketchup, our wine, from like everything. But there are so many brands right now. Like, what are you gonna buy? So it's really kind of in food industry, I feel like in order for anyone to be successful, not only to have a good product, but how do you have people taste it, right? Like, for example, I live in Hoboken right now, and but I really Hoboken in New Jersey, and it's such a nice area and a lot of bars and restaurants here, farmers market. But when I first started it, I was just focusing on New York, Brooklyn area, all of that. And a few months ago, I was like, wait a minute, like, why am I not trying own neighborhood, right?
Mm.
So now I'm in like 6 stores and restaurants in my own neighborhood in the last 2 weeks, right? And I did like a flea market here. It was so successful. And then now I'm like becoming like now we're gonna work with a local high school, Hoboken High School. They do have a program, agriculture program, and I actually want them to grow some peppers for me, even a little bit. So for them, it's a big encouragement that it's going to a company and I'm gonna make hot sauce. I'm gonna bottle it and I'm gonna sell it. So really that like to me it's bring the community together, just look around you, you don't have to look far away, but there we have so many resources, and use the people who are around you. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I think a lot of people shoot for the supermarket shelves straight away, but
No.
you're just another number on a shelf really at the end of the day. And I think, getting your hot sauce into the local pizza shop and the local cafe or restaurant and building it up from there and building a following of loyal fans in your area.
Yeah.
You get opportunities like what you said with the school. I mean, it's those types of things you wouldn't get being on a supermarket shelf. So
No, I mean, like what I realized, like because I spent a lot of time in the markets, like one of it's since I was a teenager, it's been my passion. Like I would go to supermarket or any type of market and read the labels before I even started my hot sauce business. But the thing is, like, we don't buy the stuff that we don't know. And unless that's where a lot of the companies they fail because it's just sitting there, it's not moving. So when the product doesn't move, they don't get the reorder.
yeah, absolutely. So I
Yeah.
guess covered off a lot, which is great. I think from here, where's Silly Chili Hot Sauce going from here?
I'm working on my Kickstarter project right now, Kickstarter campaign. And one of the reason I want to raise fund through my Kickstarter because I want to do a cross country road trip in USA and introducing my hot sauce to at least 10 to 50 states in farmers market.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
huge.
So I know it's a lot of work. I know that everyone has been telling me it's crazy. Like, why am I doing this? But like I said, because I want to meet the farmers and I want to build relationship with them, because as I scale up, I would like to work with farmers from other states in America and really like it's like get to like have people taste what I make. That's my plan for this year. And really, end of this year, I would like to scale up because right now I personally make it and I have help in the kitchen, but really scale up and let it grow at least like 10% by end of this year.
When do you think your Kickstarter will be live?
It'll be live by May.
We'll update the show notes with your details so they can keep in contact. What
Yeah.
I think would be, amazing is are you going to video, vlog the whole road trip? Because this sounds like an amazing trip.
Yeah, I have to get a team together once I get my funding, because I have to have like enough drivers, enough people with me because I don't think I can, do it alone this time.
Well, look, let me know when you're leaving. I might be able to spend some time because it sounds like an awesome trip. I think I might want to go.
Yeah, I'm like thinking, like kind of like drafting in my head. I would need like a big, not van, like what do you call those?
Like an RV.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. And then something I have to rent it. Yeah. And I was even thinking like painting it, but like, no, I have a habit of painting everything, by the way.
Oh, awesome. Well,
Even
definitely keep us up to date with what's going on there. Last thing, how can people find out more about you, find out more about your hot sauce? Where can they connect with you?
my website is www.sillychillyhotsauce.com. And I'm pretty active on my Instagram, Silly Chilly Hot Sauce. And yeah, there, and I go live from there. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty like active on social media and also my personal one, but the Silly Chili Hot Sauce is more like I'm posting every day. Also, the videos I post, like what I'm up to. Like yesterday, I pitched my hot sauce to a winery shop, their franchise, and I most likely I'll get in, you know?
You're brilliant.
I know it sounds funny, like hot sauce in a winery shop, but
You know what? It's actually not that silly. It's quite big over here in Australia. You go into a winery shop or liquor store, as they're called over here. It's you will often find chili jerky and hot sauce brands and things like that over here, which is I think they go hand in hand, really.
yeah, I think it'll totally go.
Hmm.
I think it'll be fine.
All right, Sofia, best of luck. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. And I encourage anyone to check out your Instagram and get in touch and hopefully follow your journey across the country. That sounds like an amazing trip. And, I look forward to next time I'm in New York to definitely look you up and check out your hot sauce for myself.
Yeah. Are you coming anytime soon?
Hopefully soon. Hopefully.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have to let me know. We should meet up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.